Kirk is a former Navy intel officer, and he joins us now live from Washington to cover a few different topics here, Senator. But let's start off with what's happening in Japan. So many questions from our viewers about the role of the U.S. military in an event like this and whether or not we have the resources to really help, considering we're also at a time of war. What would you tell our viewers?
We should have the resources. Japan is one of the closest diplomatic and military allies of the United States. Hundreds of thousands of Japanese are out of their homes, millions without power. Increasing water and food shortages, with gas lines now stretching over 4 hours long. The U.S. military can really help where it's needed most. But I would say tactically, the U.S. military should position itself so that it is upwind of the reactors. I think the USS Ronald Reagan was slightly contaminated because she was operating in the Pacific. I think she should move to the Sea of Japan, where she could render humanitarian assistance but be far away from the debris emanating from Fukushima 1, 2, and 3.
On that, we're also watching another story, and I just got a word in my ear of another earthquake striking in Japan, a 6.0. So we're trying to keep our viewers up to date as much as we can, Senator. On an unrelated topic to this, one of the things we're also seeing happening right now in Washington is testimony by General Petraeus about what's happening in Afghanistan, and he's expected to offer an optimistic outlook for the war there. And the same day, we get a poll from the Washington Post and ABC that says 2/3 of Americans are no longer think this war is really worth fighting for. What would your message be to Americans who are tired of this war at this point?
I would say that defeat should not be an option for our policy in Afghanistan. This is the place at Tarnak Farms, just south of Kandahar, where the 9/11 attack was planned, the murder of 3,000 Americans on our home soil, which should never be repeated again. I think the surge on a military level has worked, and General Petraeus has put that forward in great detail. The problem is the political structure of Afghanistan. And I think that's where the main focus of effort should be. Our troops are doing a very good job, and the Taliban is having a very bad military year. But all of this will not be fully exploited unless we have political progress as well.
And who should be responsible for that political process or progress?
Principally, it's the Secretary of State and the President of the United States. We need to make sure that there is an Afghan government that fully reflects the will of its people. Through good elections. Eventually, we had that, for example, in El Salvador, where we won the war, and in Iraq. And that needs to happen in Afghanistan as well.
Senator,
also, we need to...
I'm sorry to interrupt.
Ahead.
I only have about 30 seconds here and just have to get your quick thoughts on the funding of our government, because General Petraeus is thought to have also spoken a little bit about concern about funding for the military. Are you going to support another extension for this continuing resolution that we expect to pass the House today?
I will. I think the government is going to be funded for another 3 weeks. We will cut another $6 billion from current spending. And my hope is the follow-up legislation will be a full defense bill to back Petraeus.
Senator, so nice of you to join us on such a busy news day. We appreciate having you and look forward to having you again.
Thank you.